Shalom, shalom. They look at you and realize they can't read you. Do you know how frustrating this is to the workers of wickedness, the workers of deceit? I got to start with the story. We're going to get into some scriptures on this wonderful prep day going into Shabbat. Like, this is such a good word. I heard in the spirit, and I don't know why I was thinking about this story because it happened when I was about 11 years old. But the Most High was saying they can't read you, and it frustrates them. And I said, wow, that's so profound. That's so powerful. So I Bible studied it out, and I'm like, oh, this is like another pattern. You know, we've been discussing these heavenly spiritual patterns. And listen, obedience is better than sacrifice. So your obedience in this time is always going to be better than sacrifice, than going back and repenting. It's better to first be obedient. Many times that comes in the form of being quiet. That comes in the form of discernment. That comes in the form of let me do, thus says Yah, not thus says humanity, okay? But they looked at me when I was 11. They said I can't read her. They could read everyone else, okay? But they couldn't read me. Some of us are sealed. Some of us are covered. Some of us are set apart, and the spirit realm knows who you are. For you, the black sheep, the quiet one, the quote unquote introvert, they couldn't read you because you're chosen. Chosen ones carry a divine covering. It's like an encryption, heaven's fingerprint. The enemy does not get full access, and that frustrates the enemy's camp. It frustrates them so bad. But let me tell you the story. When I was 11, my family took me to this sidekick. They thought it was gonna be fun. Like, oh, let's just go to a sidekick, so fun. Me at 11 years old, I was just as intense as I am today. I'll put it like that. Me as an 11-year-old, whenever they're doing the Pledge of the Allegiance in school, I'm not doing it. I'm not making a fuss, but I'm also not doing it. I'm just sitting quietly, like I'm not about to pledge to nothing. And so even going into this place, I was like, you know, I don't really want to go, but you know, whatever. I'm a child. I'm 11 years old. And so we come up, I remember this distinctly. We come up to her house. We come up to the steps. She was an in-house sidekick. Oh my gosh, sidekicks are the biggest scam on planet Earth. It's ridiculous. Sidekicks, witches, all of them. They're goodness. If they could even get a touch of the power that the chosen ones of Yahusha have, oh, but they always realize this. So understand, she's talking to a friend of the family, and she's like looking at her, and she's like, yeah, I can read you, come on in. She speaks to someone in my family and says, yeah, I can read you, come on in. But she gets to me at 11 years old. She looks at me and she's not happy. Her face just has this very stern look, this very irritated look. And she's like, I can't read her. Actually, I can't read any of you. You guys have to leave. I have to do something else today. She goes back inside. She closes the door. My family and friend of the family, they were like, what's going on? What's happening? I didn't even know what's happening, but the Most High revealed it to me. He says, since you were, just like it says in Jeremiah, he says, from the womb, I knew you. I called you to be a prophet to the nations. Whatever the Most High has specifically called you for, he will not let enemy camps even get close to touch you. He will thwart their camps, because understand, even the spirit world of darkness has to abide by laws and rules. Understand, they can do nothing except the Most High allows them and gives them access. Look at the story of Job, okay? We can even look at King David's story. King David, and we were talking about this previously. Maybe I'll link the past few like prophetic type videos down below that we were covering. But even King David, he was the black sheep. He's the youngest. And Samuel immediately, the right wise person called by Yah, immediately knew he was supposed to be king, even though his father's house and his brothers overlooked him, even though he was overlooked for the position. King Saul, they start out on good terms. It starts out, everything's fine. He's doing what he's supposed to do. But King Saul, to a certain point, becomes so filled with dread and envy. One, because he himself transgressed the laws of the Most High. That's number one. The Most High could not speak to him anymore because his heart was too hardened. Number two, he had somebody younger than him that was better than him at what he did and would side with the Most High every time. So much so, when King Saul is going through it, King David doesn't cuss him out. He's not doing anything because King David understands the laws. He says, touch not the anointed. I can't even touch Yahuwah's anointed. And he never would, because King David's heart, it just wasn't even like that. And so he plays music for King Saul as he is losing his mental capability. King David plays music for him. He's a skilled musician. King David's so skilled at diverse things, right? So that's just one instance. Moses, when power meets power, this is such a powerful story, and we hear about it all the time as children. Moses and Pharaoh, but there's so many layers if you really just pull it all out and break it down. Because Moses is coming up against the greatest ruler on the planet Earth. And at first he's a little timid. At first he's like, Father, you sure you want it to be me? I stutter. I killed a man 20 years ago in his house. I don't think you want it to be me. Like, you could choose somebody else. And he's like, no, I've chosen you. The Most High's like, no, you're actually the one I want it to be. You're the one that's been called for this. So much so that Moses is one of the most popular figures in the Bible. Literally one of the most popular known figures in the Bible to this day. So Moses lets power meet power. Pharaoh's magicians, I believe he had 3 magicians when he went up against him, and he had his 3 magicians. They decide to put out snakes against Moses. Moses puts out a snake as well to show that no matter what magic, sorcery you use, the power of the Most High can do that and more. And the fact that a snake was used was to show Egypt they worshipped a pantheon of gods, and they believed the python was one of the most powerful ones. So it was a form of mockery for Moses, who is not part of the Egyptian pantheon, does not know whatever sacred artifacts, whatever things they did. Moses just calls on the name of the Most High and puts forth his power, and the Most High's spirit would tell him, stretch forth your hand, and this rod turns into a snake. Because what Moses did, he wasn't even necessarily in full control. He was a vessel of Yah, so Yah wanted to thwart and confuse Egypt in the way that he chose to, because Yah knew Egypt's heart at that time. And so for the Most High, Yah was like, yes, I'm going to use a snake. And Moses was the willing vessel to do it. He just said, stretch out your hand. Moses didn't say, no, I'm not stretching out my hand. He just yielded. He didn't have to know everything. He just yielded, okay? So let's keep going on this topic. We also have Elisha in 2 Kings 6:8-23, okay? The king of Aram was trying to attack Israel. The king of Aram was trying to attack Israel. But every plan he made, Elisha already knew it. Elisha was a prophet of Yah after Elijah. Elisha was a prophet of Yah. And he was calm. He was not moved. He said, don't be afraid. He told this to his servant. Those who are with us are more than those who are with them. Now this man is going up, and Israel as a whole is going up against this great army. Aram, okay, which would have been somebody in the Middle East. You know, they are men of war. They feel like they could have technically lost, but Elisha says, do not be afraid. His servant's like, it's getting a little scary, actually. What you mean, don't be afraid? These people, we've seen them fight. We hear about them. Like, I don't know. They're kind of like giants. I don't know. They have more technology. They have more stuff than us. Maybe they had different types of resources, different technology, whatever warcraft they would have had back then. But Elisha calmly says, he says, don't be afraid. Those who are with us are more than those who are with them. Now he's tapping into the spirit world. Now he's tapping into the understanding. And this is why Yahusha says at the end of Matthew or Luke, where he is almost taken to be crucified, he tells his disciples, because one of the disciples was like, you know, we can fight them right now. And he's like, no, now is not the time. I can send down myriads and myriads of messengers to come and protect me, but now is not the time. I have to be crucified. I have to die and raise again. But he was showing you the authority and even giving you a foreshadow of a prayer point that you can use. This is a prayer point I often use. Back then was not the time for the myriads and myriads of messengers, but now for the disciples, for the chosen ones in the blood of Yahusha, elected by mercy and favor. Now is the time where you can function and call forth the myriads and myriads and myriads of angels, because all authority and all power has been given unto Yahusha. All authority and all power, right? And so let's get back to the story, 2 Kings with Elisha. Elisha then prays, opens his eyes, and says, Yahuwah, so that he may see. And suddenly the servant sees chariots of fire surrounding them. So you may look surrendered, you surrounded, but you are shielded. They can't read you because heaven already wrote victory over you. When heaven pronounces victory over you, there's not any power on the earth that can do anything about it. It doesn't matter how much power they think they have, resources, clout. It doesn't matter. When heaven, this is why the scripture says, if Yah be for you, who could be against you? If Yah himself, the king of the entire universe, is for you, then who? There's not any power that could be against you. There's nothing that could stand against you. Okay? And so we also have, y'all can go read this story. Everybody knows the story of the 3 Hebrew boys in Daniel 3. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused to bow to the king's golden statue. They were thrown in a furnace 7 times hotter, but the flames could not touch them. The king looks and says, didn't we throw 3 men in? But I see 4. The messenger of Yah, Yahusha, and the 4th looks like a son of the gods. The fire couldn't read them. The fire couldn't burn them. The fire only revealed the one walking with them. Okay? And this is such a powerful, beautiful thing for you to understand. They can't read you. They're not permitted to read you. This is why if you've had a story similar to me in your life, you may have been around people before you were saved that wanted you to get into different stuff. But when those practitioners tried to initiate you into it, it's like, no, I can't read them. I'm not permitted to do that with that specific person. They don't have permission. You're closed off. You're like, imagine it in the spirit. You have these people that practice divination, witchcraft, all different types of things. And they think, they've been deceived into thinking they have the ultimate power. They have a form of power, but they deny the true power because they're not willing to submit to Yah. Submission is power as well. But they see you, chosen one, and they're like, I can't read them. So the only thing you can do to someone that you can't read, someone that you can't gather intel on, someone that you can't understand what's going on, like they appear as if they have this shield of protection around them. Now the only thing you can do is 1, lie on them, or 2, try and get them to sin. Think Balak and Balaam in the book of Numbers. They said, we can't curse the children of Israel. Yah blesses them. He has this hedge of protection over them all the time, nonstop, day and night. The only way to curse them is to get them to sin against their mighty one. But you do not transgress against your mighty one. Do not commit iniquity. Do not do it. Stay the course. Okay? Stay the course. They can't read you. They're not permitted to. Your story, your calling, your legacy, this includes your business. This includes your marriage. This includes your family. This is all included. It is not exclusive. The Most High is not like, I just want one part of your life and not this part. That's not how it works. He wants the full thing. He wants the business, the marriage, the family, the children, the health, the wisdom, he wants all of it, every part. You are coded in Yah's language, not divination. You're not random. You're not rebellious. You are sealed for such a time as this. And understand Isaiah 54:17 says, no weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment you shall condemn. Meaning you have the power to condemn the workers of wickedness. By your mouth you can condemn them. Remember, all authority has been given to Yahushua the HaMashiach, who some call Jesus. In Swahili they call him Yesu, right? All authority has been given so that when people attempt to curse you, when powers attempt to curse you, you can thwart and paralyze them. I'll never forget this dream the Most High gave me. And he revealed to me this was years ago. It was back when I was living in Tanzania. He revealed to me 4 witches, but they were wrapped in darkness. So I couldn't tell who they were. But the Spirit of the Most High, he comes into my ear and he says, paralyze them. Immediately I have a sword in my hand. The sword represents the word. So I have my scriptures in my hand. That's always what I use. Then in the spirit, he says, paralyze them. And I speak what he says in my ear. I speak what he says, and these 4 entities that were in front of me are all paralyzed at the same time. Here's the really blessed thing about this. Anytime workers of wickedness fall, whether they're giants, witches, whoever it is, they have misjudged the power that is within you. They have misjudged you. That's why the Most High likes to use somebody that the world may think, oh, this person, they probably don't get it, or this person, they're going to be easy, or this person is going to be whatever. They misjudge you, and that is the downfall. Do you think if Goliath, look at these flies all of a sudden, you gotta rebuke that. Do you think Goliath, if he knew he was gonna die like that, would have just went in there prancing around talking stuff to King David, to young King David? No, if he knew that would happen, he wouldn't have gone in like that. He would have used wisdom, but he did not receive wisdom. He did not have wisdom. He was too drunk with his own pride. So he went into basically his own cemetery. He went into his own cemetery without even realizing it. This is where it activates when you're a chosen one. Then you start to pray for your enemies, because you start to realize the Most High will give you dreams and visions, and he'll show you the end of your adversaries. And then you start to pray, Father, okay, just have mercy. Can you just change their heart? Can you do something? But many times, like Jeremiah 12, we were going over this a few months ago. I'm going to try to leave some of these videos so you can look at all of them. We were going over Jeremiah 12, and it got to the point where Jeremiah used to pray for his people, but the cursings had become so rampant. Jeremiah stopped being that hedge of protection for the people of Israel. He started to say, you know what? I get it, Father, do what you will. And the Father responded. The Most High Yah responded and said, yes, I will judge them. Now is the time for me to bring their destruction, but you are going to come out unscathed. And it happened. Jerusalem was given over. The people went into captivity. Everybody except Jeremiah and maybe Baruch went into captivity. And so let this be a blessing for you today. Let this be something that encourages you, that allows you to testify of the greatness of Yah. But also, if you have ever experienced that in your life and you're like, why is it like if you're confused about why do people feel like they can't read me, they feel like whatever, especially if they're people that you know are practicing different things, just understand, they have not been given permission. There is a hedge of protection around you, so much to the fact that even everything you do in your career prospers. Everything you do in your schooling prospers. It's almost like you have this cloud of anointing that goes before you in everything. It almost looks too easy, and that can also make people jealous than Cain and Abel. It's almost like everything comes too easy for you. But you have the Most High Yah to thank for that, because at the end of the day, the Most High says, I will bless who I choose to bless, and I will curse who I choose to curse. The end. There's not no if, and but. There's not any talk back. That's the word of Yah. And if these people would get in submission to Yah, they may even be able to receive their own rewards and their own blessings. But until they get into submission to Yah, they will be cursed by the works of their own hands. But you, chosen one, you stay blessed. You stay in obedience. You stay worshiping the highest. And when they try to get you to stop talking about the highest, that means worship him and talk about him 10 times more. Shalom, shalom. Be blessed.